Evening, everyone. I was just laughing because I was just discussing with Tony how complicated getting these sessions going is, and yeah, lo and behold, I just pressed the recording button rather than the streaming button on OBS. Anyway, I think we're good to go now. Everything seems to be working, and hopefully we have a nice straightforward session this evening. I know most of the guys on Discord are coming back from illness, so I don't know if anyone actually doing the live session is going to be doing the full session, but good luck to everyone that is. Say again, sorry? Yeah, mate, don't worry about it. Like, as we said in the WhatsApp group, if you're coming back from illness, guys, you know, play it by ear, keep it sub-threshold, just kind of, yeah, give yourself a little bit of, be a bit nice to yourself. There's plenty of hard work to come. And just to the guys that are on tonight who are recovering from illness, just remember, there is the return to training protocol in the members area, which just kind of sets out how to approach illness and returning, not returning too early. Anyway, hopefully everyone is good, firing on all cylinders. I'll talk you through the session. So this is a session, this workout is one that we've done a few times. It's a tough one, but that's kind of where we're at now in terms of our race prep. It's all kind of tough stuff at the moment. So we've got the normal two-minute ramps every 2 minutes, building up by about 6 to 10 watts. Just about 10 minutes, building up through zone 2. Then we're going to kind of weight the legs up with 5 20-second fast pedaling efforts. We're at sort of VO2 level for that. Then we've got just a very short cruising sector after those, about 2 minutes. And then basically we're into the session straight away. Now this session is tough for a couple of reasons. We've got 15 times 2 minutes at threshold with 45 seconds recovery in between. To say it's tough for 2 reasons, really. Just the fact that you're kind of straight into it. I think in an ideal world, if we didn't have time pressure, the warm-up would be much longer. So don't worry if the first 2 rounds your legs are just struggling to get going. But it is tough because of how little recovery there is, and it's really a mental challenge tonight's session, because it's just up and down constantly, just all the time, trying to keep your legs going, try not to let the cadence drop too much. And so yeah, it's a real tough one. The actual accumulation of volume, of threshold volume, 30 minutes of threshold, that's pretty standard for an hour's session. That's standardly hard, I should say. But it's just the way it's delivered, just these 2 minute bursts, short bit recovery, go again, go again. Yeah, it really kind of drains you. So the emphasis on tonight's session is just being really kind of fastidious on all the things that make you efficient. So trying to stay relaxed in the upper body, keeping your chin up, keeping the cadence high, well above 85, 90 RPM, all the stuff that I bang on about every session, but forcing yourself to do it for that sort of, 35, 40 minute block time period. That's tough. Staying concentrated and focused that period of time. So just do your best. Session is intended to be in erg mode, but if you are someone returning from illness or you are leading the session, format out of erg mode if you want, or you can take the power down, whatever your preference is, whatever is going to see you do a nice high quality session. I'm gonna need to open the door already. Pretty surprised. It's quite warm in here already. It's been freezing today, but because it's been sunny, Charlotte and I have kind of been really reluctant to put the heating on. So I spent most of the day freezing my nuts off. Anyway, in other news, we will be talking about tyres, tyre widths, tyre pressures, etc. So that's today's chat, which I'm going to get straight into now because there's actually quite a bit to say about it as we build through this warm-up. When it comes to tyres, guys, and pressures and tyre widths, etc., if you find yourself kind of reading stuff and just going a bit cross-eyed, don't worry, okay? Like, this is something I've been doing a lot of reading about recently. So I don't have the money to like make big upgrades to my road bike, or even buy a new bike, etc. You know, that's just not in my my budget. So I've been really looking for kind of relatively cheap ways to optimize my setup, and one of which is I've been doing a bit of a deep dive into tyres, and what's optimal for my setup. And guys, I spent hours and hours reading, and I don't know how much further I am in terms of my understanding of what is the best way forwards. I basically just come to a landing on what feels right for me, because every week there's something new. There's some new claim about tyres and what pressure you should be running, how wide they should be, etc. So yeah, don't worry if you find this sort of chat hard. I'm going to try and declutter it a little bit, but I'll start by confusing things right from the off and say what tyre you go for really depends on the scenario. Road, gravel, mud, race, training ride, time trial, triathlon. These are all really kind of important factors. However, for a road setup, if you don't really care too much, you just want something that's relatively fast, decent puncture protection, then the GP5000, the Continental GP5000 is hard to beat as an all-rounder, either in clincher or tubeless. I will delve into the clincher versus tubeless bit at the end. I've got my personal feelings on, but that again, it's just a bit of a quagmire of views. So yeah, it depends on your level and how much you care really as to what is optimal. But as a general, when it comes to tyre choice, the faster you go, the less puncture protection you get. So it becomes a bit about your risk appetite as well. So we talk about TT tyres like the Victoria Corsa Pro Speed, and all the tyres, by the way, have really convoluted names. Some of them, you know, are time trial specific tyres, some on the road, but they still have very similar names. But yeah, the Corsa Pro Speed, the rolling resistance is super low, but they're fragile and thin. So yeah, you don't want to use it in a time trial or a short triathlon where you know the road surface is going to be good, or you're just really up taking a risk. So yeah, again, the typical road race tyres that you'll see banded about, it tends to be 2 or 3 or 4 that are always mentioned. The GP5000, as I said, good all-rounder, but still a very fast race tyre. The Pirelli P0 or the Corsa Pro non-TT tyre. There's not much between them, to be honest. The GP5000 is the most popular by far because it does have, generally speaking, a bit better puncture protection than the other two. And an ideal scenario, of course, would be to have 2 wheel sets. One with like a training tyre that's very durable, and then one with a proper race setup. But yeah, obviously the budget depends on that. So that's just tyre choice options. Say you can't go too far wrong with the GP 5000. It's very popular for a reason. And on British roads, you do kind of want that puncture protection. So there you go. So I'm just going to wait now the next 19 seconds to get into these fast pedaling efforts, and I'll talk a little bit more. So just try and relax, guys. Let's get into our good habits now. Draw the shoulders down, chin up. Cadence wise, probably want to have about 85 RPM. Get ready for the fast pedaling effort. Here we go. Really spin up the legs, upwards of 100 RPM. 10. 2, 1. Okay, relax. So it's 30 seconds in between. Just a bit. And seconds. Then we go again. Ready? Here we go. Round 2. Cadence upwards of 100 RPM, guys. Really spin up the legs. 115% of FTP. 5, 2, 1. Guys, 2 down, 3 to go. Round 3. Here we go. Then. Okay. Relax. 2 more to go. Okay, so as we finish off these fast pedaling efforts and enter a cruising sector, to talk about width. Width the tyre. So just take erg mode off for myself, just so I can talk. And 2 seconds till we get the next fast pedaling effort. So just follow the workout for now, guys, and I'll just talk through. So tyre width is kind of where all the chat is at the moment. And if you've read anything recently and you find yourself a bit kind of, it's a bit, well, I get a bit annoyed, to be honest, because there's so many people talking confidently. Everyone says everything something different. It's such a complex, conflicting subject. And a big part of it is basically because the wheel and the tyre manufacturers, they all have their own agenda, and they'll say slightly different things to promote their products. And a lot of the time, what they're talking about is what works best for their products. And it's really hard to find like a general rule, but the general shift is towards wider tyres. And yesterday, Cycling News put out an article suggesting that 40mm tyres for road will be faster for nearly everyone. I haven't been able to read that article because of the paywall, but I can probably guess how it goes. Because yesterday I read a recent article that said 28mm was fastest for everyone. So, yeah. Anyway, basically the general trend is that a wider tyre, it rolls along and it deforms and relaxes. Sorry, the way rolling resistance works generally is that as the tyre rolls along, it deforms and relaxes, which means there's an energy loss as it does that, and that's what rolling resistance is. Okay, and the current trend of thinking is that a wider tyre offers less resistance because it has a short contact patch. It's shorter but wider, which results in less material overall flexing. Okay, so that's the theory behind why wider tyres are faster. Shorter but wider contact patch. Now I won't go into the effect of rough surfaces, volume, spring rate. It's all getting a bit too involved, and I'm not sure how much I care either. One important thing to get right though is matching your tyres to the rims. And it's sadly not as simple as just whacking a wider tyre on any rim, and you'll be faster. If you put a big tyre on a rim with a small internal diameter, you get like a mushroom shape, and that's not very efficient. Conversely, if you go with a wide rim and a tyre that's a bit too narrow, the sidewalls get kind of straight and stretched and doesn't flex very well. So there is a common rule, general rule, for helping determine a good rim to tyre ratio, and that's the 105 rule. So the optimum rim width in relation to the tyre is you're aiming for a rim, or you're aiming for a tyre that is 5%, you're aiming for a rim to be just under 5% wider than the tyre. Okay, I'll say that again. An optimum rim width in relation to the tyre is you're aiming for the rim to be just under 5% wider than the tyre. In short though, pros all seem to be riding sort of 28mm tyres at the moment. So take from that what you will. Anyway, here we go guys. Really shocking intro to the main set, but we're straight up to threshold. It's 2 minutes on, 45 seconds off, times 15. Now keep it simple for yourself. Just work in 5 interval blocks, okay? Don't think any further ahead than that. Okay, so we're just gonna focus on the first 5 intervals to begin with. As he drops his chain. So get yourself up to power. Cadence wise, let's try and stay above 90 RPM. Pretty much every threshold interval, try and be above 90 RPM, okay? And then when we're into the recovery intervals, do your best to keep it above 80, okay? So you should be at 100% of FTP, or if you're still recovering from illness, keep it sub-threshold, hit something between 80 and 90 RPM, 80 and 90% of FTP. Sorry. Okay, 30 seconds. Try and relax your shoulders, draw them away from your ears, keep the chin up. Breathing. Last 10. 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Don't stress too much about the power target. Just keep your legs spinning at a nice high cadence, okay? That's round 1 of 5. Round 1 of the first 5 down. Get ready to go. Again in 20. In terms of the chat, I'll wait till the end. Talk about pressures, tube or tubeless. I can cover that in a few minutes. Okay, up we go again. So just focus on what you're doing. Relax once you're up to power. Cadence upwards of 90. 30 seconds down. Okay, 1 minute. Stay on it, guys. Coming to the last 30 seconds. Twenty. Nearly there. Stay on it, last 10. 3, 2. That's round 2 down. Just spin up. Try and relax the best you can. Turn to fluid, just little sips, guys, okay? Not big gulps. Just little and often. Hopefully after our hyper hydration preloading chat a few weeks back, you guys are all over the electrolyte tabs in advance of your sets. If not, just a little reminder to watch that video again, read the article. Okay. Back up to stretch hold for round 3 or 5 of this first block. And guys, constantly reminding yourself to relax as best you can. Okay, approaching halfway through this interval. There we go, 60 seconds. Last 45. Thirty seconds. We're nearly there. Last 10 then. 3, 2, and 1. Well done, guys. That's round 3 done. Just 2 more of this first block, and then we'll already be a third of the way through. And guys, remember in the recovery, try and get your cakes above 80 RPM. It's a nice efficient pedal stroke will help flush out lactate. Okay, here we go. Number 4. Up 90 RPM on the cadence if you can. Hey, last minute. Okay, approaching the last 30. On to the last 10. Here we go, finish it off. 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Okay, just more, one more in this initial block. Guys, one more, then we reset the clock. Okay, build up cadence. Here we go. Round 5. Right then, guys. 30 down. Okay, coming on to the final minute now.
Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and down. Elevator up, down,
Yeah.
up, down, up.
Last 30.
This shit hot.
Because you want it, don't need permission because you already
Last 10.
don't need to fake it. Because you want it, don't need permission because you already own it, own it. Bring me back.
2, 1. Well done, guys. Spin up. That's block 1 done. So reset the clock. We go back to round 1 of 5. Don't look any further ahead.
Down, up, down,
Yeah.
down,
Recovery cadence above 80, remember?
and down, up, and down, up, and down, up, and elevate.
This shit hot.
And down, up, and down, up, and down, elevate.
Ready? Okay, here we go for round one then. Back up to power.
Don't need to fake it because you want it. Don't need permission because you already own it, own it. Bring me back, back, you can bring it back. Bring me back, back, you can bring it back. Bring me back, back, you can bring it back. Bring me back, back, you can bring it back. Bring me back, back, back.
It's above 90. Relaxing the shoulders. Just caught myself in the camera with my shoulders pinned. Keep relaxing. Okay, last minute of round one. Yeah. 45. Thirty. Last 10. Three, two, one. Well done. I'm just smiling because, like clockwork, after half an hour, my legs finally relax. I can sit comfortably, like clockwork, every time. That's why I was saying, ideally for this session, you'd have a much longer warm up. So don't worry if you found that first block harder than you would like. Chances are you just needed some extra time to get warm. And I'm firstly a very slow warm upper, for want of a more technical phrase. So let's hope we finish off the session well. Here we go, I'm back up for round two of this second block. Just get through the second block and then we're already into the end game. So just stay focused on the next 4 efforts and then momentum will take you through. Hey, coming up to the last minute. Here we go. Finish shot off, guys. Less than 30 seconds of the second round. 10 seconds. Switch off. Keep that cadence up all the way to the end. 3, 2, 1. Well done. That's 2 down. Just 3 more of this middle sector. And then rinse that end game, guys, okay? So cadence above 80 still. Keep spinning over. Well done, guys. Doing a great job. Let's just keep it going. Don't allow the mind to drift. Just stay focused. On to round 3 of this middle sector. Okay, that's 30 seconds down. We should be up to power. Should be up to cadence. Just spinning along over 90 RPM. We're just in the last minute now. Okay, coming up on 30k. Stay strong, stay on it. Stay composed. Just keep driving the legs. Ten. 5 seconds. Well done, guys. Just 2 more left of this middle sector. And then we can start to focus on getting to the end. So just think about these next 2. We're well over halfway through the session. So it's always imagining it now on the back straight. Working our way back downhill. Metaphorically, not literally, unfortunately. Right, here we go. Last 2 of this block. Stay on it, guys. Get the cadence up above 90. Get the power to around 100% of FTP. Okay, 30 down, 90 to go. In this penultimate effort of the middle sector. Last 60. Okay, approaching the last 30 then. Last 20 seconds. All the way to the end. Three, two, one. Well done, guys. One more round of this middle sector. You're making excellent progress, guys. One more rep, and then we can really start to ticking them down. It's fine with this session. Once you get off past this next rep, and you can start to see the line, the finish line, you get a second wind. So let's be positive. Let's hit this rep nice and clean, and then ride the wave. Okay, last minute then. Keep it going, we're nearly into the end game now. Twenty. Final 10 then. Three, two, one. Well done, guys. Well done. Okay, reset the clock. Final time. Last block of efforts left. Okay, let's tick them off one by one. And just remember what we're doing this tour. It's all about building stamina, that ability to pick yourself up and keep going. That's what we're doing here. You know, I talked last time about mental toughness. No such thing in my book. It's prepared. Oh, I was about to quote a movie then. It's not going to do it. I've never met, I'll repeat what I said last time. I've never met a mentally tough athlete who wasn't well prepared as well. So we're preparing for that race scenario here. The efforts out the corners, the closing down the brakes. Doesn't matter what your discipline is. This type of up and down will feel familiar. But often in these types of sessions, think about Dorney Lake and some of the turns there. There's a hairpin up to that little bridge. That's always quite a hard one, really disrupts the rhythm. That's what this is about, really. Disrupting your rhythm and then asking you to get back to it. Let's raise sharpness. Last minute. Round one.
Casi callao, casi que me la creí, pero me he salvado y ahora me curo de ti.
Remember our good practice, shoulders down, chin up. High cadence. Try and relax as best you can on the upper body. It will plant your bum on the saddle so you can continue to boost power.
Tú y yo quedado en el pasado, cora congelada como ice, keep it chilly, chilly. Así yo que puedo, keep it
30 seconds.
keep it chilly, chilly, chilly. Tú y yo quedado en el pasado, cora congelada como ice, keep it chilly.
20.
Au revoir, c'est fini. Yo no quiero nada de ti, baby. Si ya fueron malas veces las que me lastimaste, las que en verdad pensaba en mí. Chao, lo nuestro ya está terminado. Llévate todas tus cosas de aquí. Que lo ve que yo ya no
Last 2 seconds.
de ti.
2.
Que yo ya no me fío de ti.
1.
La caga una y otra vez, sí. Adiós, goodbye, te lo
4 more efforts left.
porque casi callao, casi que me la creí, pero me he salvado y ahora me curo de ti. Mira, 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 pa' que yo te diga la verdad. Adiós, goodbye, keep it chilly, chilly, yeah. Que si te pierdo,
Well done, guys.
tú y yo
Getting very close now.
cora congelada.
Remember, cadence above 80.
Adiós, goodbye, keep it chilly, chilly, chilly.
Right, build up the leg speed. Get ready for the power. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Come on. Round 2.
No puedo controlar mis
90 seconds.
todo me hace volver a ti. Baby, don't forget about me.
Relax.
Y últimamente ando solo, sin tus besos y sobrepensando todo, como si eso fuera traerte de vuelta a mí. De vuelta a mí.
Okay. Where's in the last 60 seconds? Here we go. Let's finish off round 2. Where's in the last 30 seconds? Here we go then.
Todo eso es lo que más extraña, baby, nuestra vida cotidiana. Y hasta ahora no entiendo por qué decidiste tirar todo por la ventana. Ando solo,
20.
tus besos y sobrepensando todo, como si eso fuera traerte de vuelta a mí. De vuelta
Okay, 10.
desde que te fuiste.
3, 2, 1. Well done. Oh, we are so close now, guys. Just relax. Bring out the legs, keeping it above 80 RPM. 3 more reps. Let's do this, guys. Come on. Few seconds. 3 reps, guys. Here we go. Just 2 more after this one. Nice high cadence if you can get there. One shot to power and cadence, relax. Just over 90 seconds. Last minute. Okay, 45. Right, we're into the last 30 seconds now. And we've just got 2 more reps and we're done. $15. Five seconds. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, these are starting to bite, but we've only got 2 left. Penultimate rep. It's got to feel good to say, to hear, sorry. Penultimate rep. Well done, guys. 10 seconds. Penultimate time. Bring the cadence back online. Let's finish off nice and strong. Brain's going 3, 2, 1. Up we go, come on. Let's finish as we started. Start to power up to cadence. Then we're telling ourselves to relax. Really want to drill this stuff into you so that when it comes to race day, you probably don't want my voice in your head, but you've got a voice in your head telling you to relax as best you can. "90 seconds of this penultimate effort. Just one more after this, so stay strong. Take it all the way to the end. Don't let up now. "60 seconds. Last 45 seconds. Come on, guys. Keep going. "30. Last 20 then. All the way to the line. "10. 5. 3. 2. 1. Yes, team, here we are. Just one more rep to go. Oh. Felt like a long way at the start, but hopefully, just by breaking up in the way we have, it's just kind of made it seem more manageable. Showed you the way, the roadmap. Right then. 15 seconds. There we go for the final time. Let's finish off strong, guys. 5 seconds. Here we go. Last time then, guys. Stay with it, guys. It's just a little over a minute left. Here we are then. Last minute. Let's go. We're to the last 30. Let's finish it off. Twenty. 12. Last 10 seconds then. Oh, here we go. Well done, team. Woo. Spin up. Well done, guys. Oh. That session feels like it goes on forever. So just catch your breath. Right. Let's talk a little bit more about pressures to finish off the session. Just remember, I always kind of condense this chat into a social media post, guys. So that'll be up in maybe a week's time. Or you can always go back on YouTube and watch this. But let's talk about pressures. Super exciting. Probably exactly what you want to be chatting about right now. And unfortunately, the story continues. It's an area or kind of bike set which is getting increasingly complicated. But the general trend is towards lower pressures, even on the road. And for anybody that is losing interest, there's a couple of simple ways that you can get this right. One super basic way is on the side wall of your tyre, whatever tyres you're running, there'll be a safe operating range in terms of PSI. And just for general riding purposes, if it's wet, you want to be kind of towards the lower end of that range for improved traction. You get a slight increased risk of puncturing, but you want better traction in the wet. And then conversely, in dry weather, just sort of in the top half of that range, I would say. Just a very basic kind of way of getting your tyre pressure set up. To get a little bit more specific for you personally, an individual, there is the Silka pressure calculator in the members area, and that's a really good way of kind of finding your own personal setup and the riding conditions, etc. That's with a lot of things though, tyre pressures, particularly in off-road racing such as gravel and cross, it becomes a skill over time. So for cyclocross, for instance, that's my obsession these days, and that's taken me a couple of years to kind of really get a sense of where I want my tyre pressures at in different conditions and the different tyre treads, etc. But yeah, start with that basic range on the sidewall or the Silka tyre pressure calculator. Now, it'd be remiss of me to talk about tyres and not getting involved in the tube or tubeless debate. Okay. And again, in terms of road setup, this is completely up for debate. Some swear blindly that tubeless is always fast on the road, whereas I was reading a test done recently, and they just said, yeah, we just use latex tubes because there's no benefit either way in terms of performance, or the benefit is negligible to not impact the test. Yeah. They spent a lot of money on the test, so I guess they must know something. But if you go on bicycle rollingresistance.com or AeroCoach, they've got different sets of data. And so if you take the most popular tyre, GB5000, the difference between a clincher tyre with a latex in a tube versus tubeless, it's negligible. For me though, my personal preference is I'm on the side of the latex tubes for road. Definitely tubeless for off-road, as it allows you to run such lower pressures. But I'm yet to see anything that convinces me that for performance or puncture protection reasons, tubeless is right for me on the road. If the performance gains were significantly better on the road for tubeless, I would probably go for it for my race tyres, but I'm not seeing anything that convinces me it's worth the faff. And for everyday training, I feel like the pressures in a road tyre are just too high for the sealant to work properly. You know, too many times I've been covered in someone else's sealant, I have to say that clearly, and then had to help them with a bodge job patch up, or lend them a tube or what have you. I don't get too many punctures, but when I do, I can change a tube very quickly. And so for me, my personal preference is latex tubes in a clincher tyre are still very fast, and I spent so much time dicking around with tubeless and sealant and stuff when it comes to gravel, cross and mountain bike. I just don't have the emotional energy to deal with it on road as well, if I'm honest. And latex tubes are super fast. So the only downside with latex tubes, just FYI, is that they lose their air quite quickly. And you should really be kind of checking your tyre pressure every ride, but particularly with latex tubes, guys. Just check them pretty much every ride. So yeah, that's tyre pressures, guys, and that is one hell of a session. I hope you're all okay. I hope you got through it okay, particularly those guys coming back from illness. If anyone's got any questions, I'll of course stick around, but otherwise, guys, go have yourself a lovely evening. But yeah, we'll just pause. Anyone got any questions? Okay. No worries, well done. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff, guys. Just remember that. Cheers, Nick. Well, nice one, mate. Just remember that Silk tyre pressure calculator in the members area, along with a whole bunch of other resources, a lot of which I've talked about in sessions, guys. So if you're not particularly familiar with the members area, massively recommend going on there. And Nick, I've changed the login sequence, so it should be a little bit easier to get on now. But yeah, have a lovely evening.